Hey guys, welcome back to codyTV. I'm Cody again, as if you haven't figured that out. Alright, today we're going to talk about Wonka, the movie, the prequel to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, starring Timothy Chalamet. Actually, I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name. I mean, I guess it's Chalamet or Chalamet. I don't know which one. But anyway, I'm not regularly a fan of his, although, in Dune he was good. Um, and Dune 2 is coming up, which should be interesting. Um, excuse me. But today we're talking about Wonka. Um, Timothy Chalamet plays Willy Wonka at a very young age. He might be a teenager. He seems like a teenager in the movie. And he does a good job. He does a good job playing Willy. Let me just adjust this here real quick. There. But he does a good job. And really, the only complaint I have is that there are too many musical numbers in it to carry the movie forward. That might be the only complaint I actually have. The characters are good. For the first time, we get to see Slugworth in the flesh, which we never saw that before, not in the Gene Wilder movie. Um, so it's very interesting to see what happens between those two, between Willie and Slugworth. Excuse me. The way the whole thing works is that Willie wants to open first, his very first chocolate shop, and we're not real sure where it's at. I think it's in London, but even Willie isn't sure where he is, which, which is okay because we're talking about Willy Wonka. So yeah, eccentricity and aloofness, that's Willie. But he wants to get his very first chocolate shop, and he has to deal with three rival chocolatiers. And put together, they're known as the Chocolate Cartel, which is pretty funny actually by itself. I mean, it's better than cartels in Mexico. It must be. But these guys are pretty vicious. So I don't know. But anyway, Hugh Grant is in the movie as well. He plays an Oompa Loompa, and Hugh Grant by himself is pretty funny. But him playing an Oompa Loompa, little orange dude with green hair, Oompa Loompa, that's pretty funny. So it's just he's kind of a pompous Oompa Loompa. And I don't remember any of the Oompa Loompas in the Gene Wilder movie having names, but this one actually has a name. His name is Lofty, and he's kind of a pompous Oompa Loompa, and he won't leave Willie alone for reasons that I won't get into. But anyway, the movie is actually quite good. The only problem is the number of musical numbers that's in the movie. Um, in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory in 1971, it only had about five about five musical numbers altogether, if I remember that right. And I watched it enough times. I think five songs in the movie was about all they had. But the ones they have in Wonka, they just keep coming out of nowhere, and that is my only real complaint. And not only do they have a lot of musical numbers that go through the movie. You would almost think we're watching Les Miserables. And Les Mis is a wonderful movie. I mean, well, you know, whichever one you pick, the musical one or the non-musical one, you're still talking about an amazing piece of work. But you would think that Wonka is trying to compete with Les Mis in terms of musical numbers. Woo! Come on, guys. Let a movie be a movie, you know? I mean, it's not it's not that I have anything against it for the most part, but those musical numbers, they are long, they are drawn out, they don't necessarily help the story. And I don't know what it is, but it seems like there's something missing just a little bit in the story. But honestly, I liked it. I like Wonka, even for a prequel, and I don't like prequels. But Timothy Chalamet does a good job in trying to channel Gene Wilder and his eccentricities when it comes to him being Willy Wonka. I almost said Gene Wilder. um, that in itself might be a problem to some moviegoers, but I thought it was really quite good. Chalamet is good. He's got the crazy hair to play Willie, you know. And if you remember Gene Wilder, when he played Willy Wonka, he had crazy hair too, and you never quite knew uh, what Willie was up to through the movie. You know, is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? Is he a villain? You know, what's happening to all these kids? You know, you're not quite sure. You know, you don't quite get the whole answer with him. You know, he's kind of a mysterious, certainly a dark type of character. Not in a bad way, but in a very eccentric, unorthodox character type of way. And even in his books, in the Willy Wonka books, you weren't quite sure. And I remember reading both of them. There were only two. Um, but Chalamet does a good job of channeling Gene Wilder for this. And I didn't know the kid could sing. I knew he could act. I mean, he's a good actor, but I didn't know he could sing. And he does a really good job of that, which is impressive. I mean, it seems like more actors are turn out to have kind of this hidden talent of being able to sing as well as act, which I really didn't expect. You know, I thought maybe everybody else around him would be singing and not him. And so it kind of, you know, it does kind of surprise you at first. Um, you have you have all these surprises in the movie, which I can't really go into because if I do, it'll just ruin everything. So I can't do it. But honestly, Wonka is a good movie. If they would have cut back on the musical numbers a little bit by maybe two or three songs, and the ones I'm referring to, you'll be able to recognize because they just it's like come on, this is bordering on excessive. You know, you'll recognize what I'm talking about when you go see the movie yourself if you decide to, but you'll see what I mean. The special effects are terrific. They have some really cool stuff, and I can't go into that because if I do, it'll ruin it. But you know, I mean, who's ever seen flying chocolates? You know, although I can't use that word, I can't use the word that Willie uses, so I'm just going to let you see that for yourself. You know, But anyway, and he has a cast of characters around him that he gets used to, and they all become allies of Willie's, and they're really cool people, and he has to kind of solve this mystery within the movie concerning one of them, concerning a girl, and he has to help her figure out, you know, the truth about her parents, the truth about why she's there. And so you have a movie filled with musical numbers, but you also have this mystery that's happening at the same time. So it's, I mean, it is a long movie. It's a little over 2 hours. It's like 2 hours and 5 minutes, something like that. But it really is good. And if you're not used to the idea of going and seeing prequels, now that we live in the prequel age, um, I'm not I'm not fond of prequels myself, but I just wanted to satisfy my curiosity when I went. So now you know the rest of the story, right? But it turned out to be worth the time, and it is good. So I hope you get to enjoy this. It's a good movie. The actors are really good, and you'll recognize one of them from the Alice in Wonderland movies, Alice in Wonderland and Alice Through the Looking Glass. Matt Lucas, who plays a chocolatier himself, is one of the chocolate cartel. So I hope you have a really good time watching this. I did, and with the exception of the musical numbers being so many, I don't even know how many there are. I just know there are so many of them. Oh, come on, please! Can't we just keep it with the story and keep it with the acting and cut down on the musical numbers? You I'm sorry, that is my only complaint. So many musical numbers. Is it, man? Yeah, that was a good one. Let's have a serious scene here for a minute, okay? It's like, oh wait, another one. Okay, another musical number. But yeah, unless we're talking about Les Mis or Cats or something, take it easy on the songs, okay? That's my only complaint. But anyway, all right. Let's see. I can't find my list anywhere. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, little little update for you. I'll be doing some more reviews and previews of movies that are coming up. I'll also be talking about a one or two series on Netflix within the next excuse me, within the next week or two. Um, this is an awful lot to cover. This is a lot of ground. So in a few days, well, maybe tomorrow, maybe Monday. I'll have another video for you. I'll be covering the new Peanuts movie, which is starting production in 2024. Wednesday, the series Wednesday on Netflix, and season two, what we're expecting from that. I loved season one. That was a whole lot of fun. A great roller coaster. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, I'll be reviewing that. I've already seen the movie, so it won't be hard to do. A Haunting in Venice, uh, Agatha Christie's long lost novel, Hercule Poirot. I'll be reviewing that one. I'll also be talking about Maleficent 3, Hey, my tongue doesn't want to work. Um, that's going to be interesting since it's especially since it's going to be Angelina. It might be Angelina Jolie's last film. She's wanting to retire because she wants to spend more time with her family and she wants more of a social life. So, hey, sorry, Angie, but you know when you're a world famous movie star and everything, this sort of thing kind of tends to happen, I suppose. I'll also be covering Star Trek 4 and how there may not be a Star Trek 4 or any more Star Trek movies if this is even right, if this is right, you know. Um, a lot of grief going on over Star Trek 4 and how there may not be one for one of the reasons, just one of the reasons being because the studio can't get the money they need in order to budget another Star Trek movie, especially after Star Trek Beyond and how that flopped. I'll be covering that as well. Let's see, and also Star Wars Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Um, how that is probably going to be the last good Star Wars movie for quite some time until they get rid of Darth Kennedy. I really don't like her. Is it obvious? But those are the things I'm going to be covering over the next week or so. Uh, week, maybe 2 weeks. The one I really want to cover in the next video will probably be, yeah, probably Wednesday, season two. I'm going to go ahead and review season one because, like I said, I had a lot of fun with that. So that's going to be really cool. And I'll be working on that in the next video. So uh, I hope you guys will tune in or turn on, whatever. And if you go see Wonka, I hope you have a really good time because I did. You know, Timothy Chalamet is a really good actor. He's got a lot of potential if he's gonna stay in movies, which a lot of people seem to not be staying in movies these days. So that's going to be interesting. Um, but I hope you have a good time, and if you do go see it, be sure to get you some popcorn. You're gonna need it, and try to pace yourself out on the popcorn and drinks and the snacks, okay? Because if you don't, you're gonna find yourself running to the bathroom as soon as you finish, and the movie won't even be halfway over. So yeah, that can be embarrassing. Yeah, row. Um, so yeah. Oh yeah. Scooby Doo. Um, I'll just be talking about rumors about the future of Scooby Doo. What I've had to do a lot of digging around just to find out. So, all right, I will let you go and let you enjoy your Saturday. And I'm going to do some editing on this if there's any editing to do, and I'll get back to you next time. All right, later.